This is my most important stats. Duels won per game. This is the Arsenal now. 47.1. That's a 48.9% duels win. And the possession loss per game is 126. That's a lot. And that's in 8 matches, right? Now, let's take a look on Bayern's. So it's the big one so far this season. Arsenal versus Bayern tomorrow. And for this match, I'm feeling very optimistic. But also, I've got that small hint of doubt in my mind. And the reason is, what Arsenal is going to turn up tomorrow? Is it going to be this overconfident Arsenal? Some people might say confident, and rightly so, by how we've been performing this season, by how informed all the players are. So, by right, we should be confident and not overconfident. While on the other hand, you can say overconfident by looking to get both Champions League and Premier League. We're fighting on both fronts. And we believe, most fans believe that we can win both titles this season. Now, in contrast, you see Bayern not really having the best of time over there in Germany in terms of the league position. Now, what is Arsenal going to do? Are we going to play Bayern and focus on their prestige, focus on their history? Are we going to play a Bayern and that we see right now is basically one of the worst time period for them in the recent years they've been in, seeing Leverkusen with Xavi Alonso passing them out, dealing with them like they're second-class citizen over there in Germany. What's our temperament going to be like? What's our mindset going to be like? What's our character for this match going to be like? Are we going to be aggressive? Are we going to be strong? Are we going to be in the days? Are we going to be like an air in the spotlight? What are we going to be like in this match? Because if we turn up, impose our game, confidence, aggression, the same way we've been playing against Brighton, against West Ham, against all these teams, smacking them up. I'm not saying we're going to smack Bayern up. Listen out for my prediction. It'll come later on. By the way, if you reach this far, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. Let me know your score prediction before I get to mine. So, what Arsenal is going to turn up? Are we going to be giving Bayern a match, a run for their money, looking at them like we're on the same level? Are we going to treat them like we're on the same level? Or are we even going to treat them like we're bigger than them? Or is it the next way now? We're going to give them too much respect. We're going to see people like Kane and say, oh, Kane, Sir Harry Kane, you can do as you like. Or we're going to see Muller and say, Sir Muller, do as you like. Are we going to see Kimmich and say, Sir Kimmich, do as you like? What Arsenal is going to turn up tomorrow? And for me, if Gabriel gets the team galvanized, I'm not looking to Odegaard for this match. Even though Odegaard is the captain, I'm not looking for Odegaard. I'm looking for Declan Rice, the warrior in midfield. I'm not even looking for Thomas Partey, to be fair. I want Thomas Partey to play, but I'm not looking for him to lead the team. I'm looking for Declan Rice to lead the midfield. I'm looking for Gabriel, not even Saliba. I'm looking for Gabriel to be up for the fight tomorrow. I'm looking for Gabriel to galvanize the defense, bring everyone together, make them see the importance of this game. You see that last action against Brighton. He blocked a shot, and he was acting like he scored 10 goals. The passion, the celebration he's celebrating just for blocking a shot. Just for blocking a shot that was on target. This is the Gabriel I want to see turn up tomorrow. No smiling. You see how we done with Haaland. Haaland had to be shaking his head, giving him a hug after the match, because that's how much he dealt with Haaland. Haaland had to say, listen, Sir Gabriel Magalhaes. Yeah, so this is it. When we deal with teams aggressive, like we're better than them, so we need Gabriel to be leading that defense. I remember David Dean said in a clip on AFTV that, listen, he remembers when the Invincibles came out and they looked in the tunnel. In the tunnel, there was it's like a staring competition, and everyone feared Arsenal. The players could see the fear in the opponent's eyes. And Arteta said a similar thing last weekend, where he said about, listen, he came up against the Invincibles, and it was something to see. This is how we should be. We've got Raya. We've got Benjamin White, we've got Gabriel Magalhaes, we've got Saliba, and we've got all these players, and Kivio's got that as well, that aggression in him, that when you're in the tunnel, look them down. Now we know they've got the experience in the Champions League. Basically, most of our team haven't got Champions League experience, especially to this level. You've got a few like Jorginho, Partey and Havertz, you've got a few there, but most of them haven't got this experience to be in the latter stage of the Champions League, where it's going to come with additional pressure from the fans. It's going to come with additional pressure from the media. It's going to come with additional pressure mentally from the players, thinking, can I achieve this? Can we achieve beating Bayern in this stage? Can we do it? This, because last season we failed at the early in the Premier League because I believe the player got shell shock with the occasion, with where we were fighting for the Premier League. Now we think we're overcome that struggle, we've overcome that obstacle, and I believe that we have the mentality to win the Prem. But when the Champions League is a totally different matter. This is the creme de la creme. This is the best competition in the world. Now let's see if we can raise our level. Let's see if we can raise our mentality. Let's see if we can raise our stature as individual players. And I'm talking like one of the players because I am. Let's see how we can grow for this match. And going on, beating Bayern and going on to the semis and going on to the finals, hopefully winning the Champions League. So we're going to get into some clips. We're going to hear what Arteta had to say for this match. And we're going to look on a few stats, basically on how Bayern has been this season.
Hello.
Mikel, big games, Champions League, Premier League, are coming thick and fast at the moment. How much do you think your players, and indeed you, are relishing?
Really enjoying the moment. This is where we want to be. We're in a really good position in the Premier League, and we're in a really good position in the Champions League. We have a big task ahead of us against one of the most successful teams in Europe, clubs in Europe, and that's the hurdle that we have to overcome, and we are really looking forward to it.
I think Bayern's sporting director has said Arsenal are favourites for this game, but how would you assess Bayern's threat given their poor league form in the season they've had?
Top team.
Before Arteta answer that, because he's going to go down the political route by saying they're the top team, they're this and that. And I've heard the Bayern, I don't know if it's the COO or the CEO or someone in the hierarchy saying that, listen, someone asked him the question after they lost that game 3-2 over the weekend. They asked him, what can you see or what gives you the confidence to go to play against Arsenal? The guy said nothing. He hasn't seen anything on that display, what they played on the weekend, to say that they're ready to play against Arsenal. And before, he even said something like a few weeks ago, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, he said that the Arsenal that they beat, Arsenal of all that they beat 10-2 on aggregate, is not the same Arsenal now. And I've been saying that, listen, the Bayern that beat us, the 10-2 on aggregate, is not the same Bayern. So we've grown, we've improved, and they've declined over the past few seasons. Now, I know they've got very good players, individual players. They've got brilliant individual players. But I don't believe Tuchel is a very good manager. To be fair, that's my opinion. Everyone might have their own opinion, but for me, Tuchel is not that good manager to be managing Bayern to winning a major trophy. For me, is in my mind, he could win with another team, probably Real Madrid, but I don't think that he could win with Bayern. Once again, Bayern have individual brilliance, but there's something about them this season that's lacking.
I'm a big fan, big admirer of Thomas. His teams, the way they set up, the way they play, what they transmit. I have learned a lot about him. And looking at Bayern, and when you analyze him deeply, you see why they are a top team. So we have prepared very well, and we have to take our game where we want it. And if we do that, we'll have a chance to win.
He focused on Müller, and the first time I've seen Müller, I was like, oh, this guy is rubbish. I don't like the way he plays. It just looks awkward. He runs awkward. But guess what? He's very effective. He gets the goal at the right time. He gets the assist at the right time. He's a fighter. He reminds me a bit of Havertz. Havertz is not the most technical, gifted player you'll see. He's not the most skillful player you'll see. He's not the best passer you will see. He's not the best finisher you will see, but man, is he very important to Arsenal team? Yes, he is. So I feel Müller is like Havertz, but on a totally different level for what he's been doing for Bayern. He's been doing this for Bayern for years in, years out, bringing them to finals, winning them trophies, year in, year out. Müller has been that player for them. Hopefully Havertz can be that for us, because you see the Germans are very serious when it comes down to football. They take these things seriously. So I heard Müller said that, listen, Havertz is going to be me and you, boy. So let's see the fight out, the shootout between Havertz and Müller. Let's see what German is going to come on top.
The draw has thrown up Harry Kane's return to North London.
Yeah.
How do you stop him?
It's not only him. I think it's the team function, the individuals that they have, and obviously we know the individual qualities of all those players and him in particular and the ability that he has. So the best thing to do is what we do collectively to try to prevent certain things.
I don't like the sound of that, to be fair. Well, I understand what you're saying, that we need to play collectively to stop Hurricane, but you know what that sounds to me? That sounds like a park in the bus incident. And it's hard to say park the bus because Arteta doesn't park the bus. Because we press so high and we press so aggressively and we press with so much players, it's hard to say we're parking the bus. But how we played against City, some might say we parked the bus, but there's no way you can be parking the bus and be pressing that high, because the one mistake you make, you open up and the team get a goal. But we press City high, aggressive, but yet still City could not find a way around our press to get to our backline. So by him saying that, I expect the team, everyone in the team, to be defending very well. I expected all the wingers to be tracking back. I expected all this. So potentially it might not be the most exciting match. I'm saying this from now, based off what he just said. It might not be the most exciting match. When you have to listen out for these indications, for these word plays from managers, from players, to see basically the indication of how they're going to play, how they're going to set up. And for me, that's what it sounds like. He's going to play like how he played against City. And for me, once we get the results, I don't really care. I mean, it's not going to be the best match for the eyes, for the entertainment, for the neutrals. But yeah, once we get over the line, who cares?
Okay.
I just wondered, have you spoken to Xabi Alonso at all for some tips on how to beat Bayern?
Great question. I'm not going to answer that.
Well, first of all, he said great question. That's the first thing he said. For him to say great question is for him to acknowledge that this person touched a touchy subject. He touched a touchy part of this interview. Right? Now, for him to ask, did you go to Xavi? We know that Xavi is Spanish, so they must have some close ties because they both played in the Spanish national team. They both know each other, basically of a similar age group. And we see that most of these guys, they play at youth academy levels together, especially La Masia. So, based off the league position, you see that Xavi knows our Bayern plays. He knows their limits. He knows their flaws. He knows their qualities. Now, it's not a big stretch to say that Xavi Alonso spoke to Arteta and gave him some hints, right? And this is what I said I love about Arteta. He's always trying to find an edge to win a game, to make a player better, to make the team better. And don't get me wrong, it's not just Arteta. Most managers think like this, but it's just refreshing to see a young manager for the Arsenal operate in such a way, in such a manner, to bring silverwares to the club, to do the best for the club. And I love the mind games he plays as well with Pep, the mind games he plays with even the media, because sometimes I know that he's messing with the media. You can tell that he's playing with them. But this one, he says, good question, I'm not going to answer that. That can only tell you one thing. Like, jump into speculation. He's telling you that he spoke to Xabi Alonso, and Xabi Alonso basically give him a blueprint. Now, if he goes and lose, then clearly didn't understand what Xavi said, because it's not that Alonso don't know how Bayern play, but it could be that he implemented it wrong, or Bayern Tuchel might have changed up formation or change up their strategies to play against us, because we see that we're becoming that team. We're becoming that team where other teams have to change the way they play to try to counter how we play. So let's see what Bayern comes with on tomorrow.
Hi, Mikhail. There seems to be a bit of a fear no one mentality to this Arsenal side at the moment. How important is it that you try and take that attitude into the game on Tuesday to really show that you do belong among Europe's elite clubs?
Yeah, that's something that we're looking to do in every single match.
So this is it, that we've become that team that we have no respect, we have no fear for different teams, and that's in the Premier League. But when it comes down to the Champions League, as I said before in the opening, it could be a totally different matter. It could be the occasion gets too much for the players and they choke. But I believe we've grown a lot from there. But with Arsenal, you can't put your money on it. I'm telling you, you can't swear on it, because Arsenal's the type of team that will always let you down or go in the other direction. But to be fair, this season has been different. This season, they've been blown my expectations through the roof. They've been, every time apart from one match, every match I say that, listen, I'm gonna basically put a cap on my expectation for this match. They blew it out of the water. Apart from that match against Lens, the first leg against Lens, that's the only match I said that, oh, that was very disappointing. But apart from that match, yeah, every match we've played so far has been on par with my expectation or exceeded my expectation. So let's come against a giant in Europe and see how we cope against them. Now we're going to get into some stats. Before we close out the video, we're going to get into some stats on compare with Bayern. So far we played 8 match. Both played 8 match, Arsenal and Bayern. But this is Arsenal. We've scored 17 goals and conceded 5 and 14 assists. Yeah, 17, 5, 14. And when it comes down to Bayern played 8, scored 15. So we scored 2 more than them, conceded 7, conceded 2 less, and assist 12, assist 2 more. So it's like we've been going up in 2s compared to Bayern's, right? We've been going up in 2s. So we scored 2 more than them, conceded 2 less, and got 2 more assists. So by that metrics, it shows that we're better than Bayern in the attacking sense, in the defensive sense, and in the goal contribution sense from different players, or even contributing more to goal scoring from individual players. So overall, this stat shows that we're better than Bayern. But this is not the most important stats for me, me personally. Let me show you my most important stat. This is my most important stats. Duels won per game. This is the Arsenal now. 47.1. That's a 48.9% duels win. And the possession loss per game is 126. That's a lot. And that's in 8 matches, right? Now, let's take a look on Bayern's. Now, with Bayern is 48.5, which is a 51.7%. That's higher than ours. And the possession loss per game is 119.3, which is lower than ours. So in terms of duel winning, for me, this is the most important stats for me. I rather a team that's very good in duel winning, that's very aggressive, that gets up the pitch, that gets about them, individual player gets about. I rather a team like that, because then goals will always come. And if you're a hard-working team, you will always defend properly as well. So for me, this is a more important stat than the one I've showed you. But so far, it's 1-1. If you're a type of player that goes for goals and assists and goals conceded, Arsenal won that. If you're a type of player that place more emphasis on the duel winning, then Bayern wins that. And for me once again, you can have 1 shot on goal and score that 1 shot and win the match, and have a very good performance in terms of the duels, winning duels in every department, second balls, winning second balls, and then you can have 20 shots on goal, scoring 5 and conceding 5. Me, I rather a balanced team, and this is what I was hoping for tomorrow. Now, another thing we see, which is a very timely news, as I said before, that Jurgen Timber, I believe, is going to be available for the second match against Bayern, and we see that so far he's in the full training today, full training, training with the lads. Before it was in and out full training, not partaking 100% properly, but now he's been in full training, getting amongst the teams, getting back to full fitness, and we love to see that, because he's one of our better players in the team, best players in the team, I should say. A very, very influential player so far. He's only played a few matches in pre-season, and he's already one of our most influential players. That shows you the standard he's at. He hasn't played a kick and match this season for 90 minutes, and so far we've missed him. We missed him heavily, considering how good he performed in preseason. If you can use the metrics to say that Havertz played poor in preseason and Jurgen Timber played so well. Now look at the form of Havertz now, how he transferred with growing confidence. Imagine where Timber would have been right now if he would have stayed in the team. But we don't need to imagine much longer, because he's back soon. Now this is the last stats for the video. We see Bukayo Saka with 7 goals and assists at number 1, Jesus with 6, Leandro Trossard with 4, Martin Odegaard with 3, and Gabriel Martinelli also with 3. So far that's 23 goals and assists for the Arsenal top 5 players. Let's take a look at the Bayerns now. And by the way, you can see this is evenly distributed as best as possible. With Saka 7, Gabriel, it's like it comes down in the pecking order. It doesn't drop significantly. It's a trickling down, showing that everyone is performing, everyone is contributing to the team. All the top 5 players, attacking players, I should say. Now when you take a look at Bayern now, Harry Kane with 9, Musiala with 3, Tell with 3, Coleman with 2, Sane with 2. So that already shows you that's a what? That's a 19. So we've got more goals and contribution than Bayern, but Harry Kane leads as basically that number one, and there's a drastic drop when it comes down to Musiala and the rest. Everyone's in 2s and 3s, but Kane is a 9. So that shows you that Bayern right now is a one-man team to a certain extent in terms of providing goals and assists. But when it comes down to intricate plays, Musiala absolutely magnificent, Müller magnificent, Coleman down the wing, Sane down the wing. Everyone is very good when it comes down to the team performance and even individual flair play. But when it comes down to contributing to goals and assists, that's where they're weaker, and that's one of our strengths, because we share the goals, we share the assists, and we operate like a proper team, right? No dig at Bayern. But that's the video, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Help me on my journey to 10,000k. Once again, King Kwanzaa Kansa, mate, your reward is here waiting for you. Your reward is waiting for you. So if it's not been claimed by Thursday, the latest, then I'm going to do a reshuffle and give it to someone else again. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Now, once my prediction for this match, by the way, I almost left without telling my prediction. My prediction is a resounding 2-1. I'm predicting a 2-1. Well, obviously to the Arsenal. I don't predict against the Arsenal. 2-1 to Arsenal. My heart is telling me 3, but the previous experience, history, is knocking me back down a peg to 2-1. So if I'm going for my heart, it's 3-1. If I'm going for my head, because of the previous experience, I'm saying 2-1. And I know that Bayern is going to turn up in big matches. They might be muffling in their league, but when it comes down to big one-off matches, they're going to turn up. So that's why I'm saying 2-1. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick to the 2-1 result. But my heart is saying 3. But I'll stick to the 2-1. So that's the video, guys. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.